The song was a good Eurovision song, no doubt about it, but the outfits and the rip-off skirts were the icing on the cake that won the competition for us. I'm pretty sure of that. Cheryl Baker here from the Fizz, used to be in Bucks Fizz, of course, winners of the Eurovision Song Contest with Making Your Mind Up, and today is a very special day because it's actually the anniversary of when we won in Dublin in 1981.
With Making Your Mind Up, sung...
There's Mike Nolan in tears.
Sung by Bucks Fizz and composed by Andy Hill and John Danter.
Up they come from the artists' rest
When I was
area.
young, I watched Sandy Shaw win for the UK for the very first time. And I thought then, because at the time I wanted to be an Olympic runner, I wanted to win a gold medal for my country. Because I loved running, but I also loved singing. And I saw Sandy Shaw win the Eurovision Song Contest, and I thought then, that's it. That's my gold medal. Let's forget the Olympics. I now want to be a singer in a band because I like all the harmony and everything. I want to be in a band. I want to be a singer in a band, and I want to enter the Eurovision Song Contest for my country and win the Grand Prix. I want that prize. And so when I've joined my first band in 1975, we actually did a Song for Europe. I did the Song for Europe quite a few times actually. We did a Song for Europe in 1978 and we won with a song called The Bad Old Days. And so here was I about to hopefully fulfill my ambition, my childhood ambition. I was representing my country in the Eurovision Song Contest in Paris in 1978, and we were tipped to win. And it was fantastic and amazing. Obviously, you know, I was actually, how many children fulfil their childhood ambition? How many do that? And this was massive. But the awful thing was that at that time the UK had either won or come second or been certainly in the top 5 every year. Not this year. We came 11th, which was the worst the UK had ever done in the Eurovision Song Contest, and it absolutely broke my heart, and I felt like I'd let the Queen down. After the 1978 Eurovision, I stayed with Coco for another couple of years, and we gigged, and we did all right because, you know, we were the UK representatives. But by 1980, I'd had enough of it, and I thought, you know, what I'd trained to do at school was secretarial work. So we'd had some success with The Bad Old Days. It did chart. It was a top 20 hit for us in the UK, and we recorded it in a place called Mayfair Sound Studios in the West End of London. And so I rang Mayfair Sound and I said, look, I'm leaving Coco. Do you want a secretary? Do you want someone to type your letters, to do backing vocals for artists that come in? I'll answer your phones. And they said yes. So I went to work for them in the summer of 1980. And while I was there, a woman came in who I knew, called Nicola Martin. I knew her because just through doing the Song for Europe and through mutual friends. And she came in and went, oh, Cheryl, why are you here? And I said, well, I've left Coco and I got a job here at Mayfair Sound. And so she obviously clocked this and remembered it, because shortly after she put forward some songs for the Song for Europe, and including Making Your Mind Up, and also including, by the way, a song called Have You Ever Been in Love, which was a big hit for Leo Sayer after the competition. Those 2 songs did get through. She needed to put artists to sing those songs. She wanted to put a band in for Making Your Mind Up. And a friend of hers was called Mike Nolan. He did the backing vocals and the lead vocals on Making Your Mind Up, the demo that was entered for the Song for Europe. And when it was accepted, Nicola said to Mike, do you want to be in the band? And he went, yeah, all right then. So then she knew she had to find another 3 people. And Mike at the time was blonde and short, so she thought it would look really good if they're all short and blonde. So that was the criteria. And she actually originally was going to be in Bucks Fizz, and then she decided to be in the other band, which she called Gem, and they were the ones who performed Have You Ever Been in Love? And the reason that we were called Bucks Fizz was because when they recorded the demo, she was drinking a Bucks Fizz at the time. And so she went, oh, what should we call the band? Oh, Bucks Fizz. And she wrote that down. It was, you know, it could have been a cup of tea. It could have been anything. And so I went along. She rang me and said, I'm putting a group together. Are you interested? And of course I was interested. So I went along and met her. But the first person I met was Mike. I saw Mike coming down the stairs, and he'd just got out of the bath, and he had this white fluffy towel wrapped round him. And he just looked like a dream. I mean, he was so handsome. He was so beautiful. And actually, when we went in, I heard the song, and I thought it had a good chance in the Eurovision, or in the Song for Europe. But Mike and I just were like this straight away. We got on so well, and I was very lucky because he became my best friend on that day, and he still is to this day, 40 years later.
United Kingdom's entry from Bucks Fizz. Making your mind up. There they go. I think they're going for a spin around Dublin Bay.
Fortunately for us, when we won the Song for Europe, and we really won it easily, I think there was only one jury that didn't give us the top points. Everybody gave us top points in the Song for Europe. So we easily won that, and so now we were going to represent the country again in the Eurovision Song Contest. And fortunately for us, the BBC at the time were really behind us, and so they released the single immediately. It charted immediately, and so by the time 3 weeks later that we did the Eurovision Song Contest in Dublin, we were already in the charts. We were at number 5 in the UK charts, so we already had a top 10 hit single without even doing the Eurovision Song Contest. And we heard on the grapevine that it was also being played in Europe. So there's a definite advantage, because sometimes you need to hear a song a few times before it clicks and you think, actually, that's really good. So we were, we were fast forwarding to the Eurovision Song Contest, and actually when we flew out to Dublin, as I say, we were already in the charts. Everybody wanted a piece of us. All the papers were around us. So I actually felt like, even before winning, I felt like we had succeeded, because far more than Coco had done in 1978, because there was so much going on around us that everybody wanted a piece of us. I don't know, maybe it was just really good timing. Maybe the song just suited the time around the world. It wasn't just in the UK, it was a worldwide hit, Making Your Mind Up. So it was an extraordinary time, and I'm so grateful for it.
When you can see how it's gotta be, you're making your mind up.
That day, the actual day of the Eurovision, I mean, you're filled with so many emotions. You're filled with fear, that's the primary one, and expectation and excitement and adrenaline. Honestly, it's such a fraught day in a good way and a bad way. But we did our performance, and you kind of go into overdrive when you do the performance. And to be perfectly honest, just before we went on, I was thinking, I don't remember any of the moves, I don't remember the lyrics. But then, thankfully, because you've rehearsed it so many thousand times, it kicks in and you do the performance and it's fine. So then we came off, and the relief, you've done it now, the relief was plausible, if that's the right word to use. And we had applause from the other contestants. In comparison to the 1978 Eurovision, it was like chalk and cheese. It was such a lovely experience. And so we sat on our big sofa and we waited. We were, I think, 11th or something like that. We were kind of in the middle, and we had quite a while to wait. And then the votes start coming in, and that's when the nerves really start. And I believe, well, we definitely got votes from every single country, which is unusual. We didn't get any nil point from anybody, but I believe our first vote was something like 3. So I thought, okay, is this the pattern for the day? To be perfectly honest, if you look at the voting, we got a couple of 12 points, I think, but mostly we got middle of the range. We got 7s, 8s and 9s. But because we got a vote from every single country, that's how we won. And it was down to the penultimate vote, I believe, or possibly even the last vote. And if you listened to Terry Wogan's commentary, which of course we couldn't hear because it was just people watching the telly, he said they need 5 votes to win. They need to be given 5 votes. And I think Sweden was the last to vote, or Switzerland, I think it was Sweden. And they gave us 8 points. They gave us 8 points. And they gave Germany were our closest rivals. We were doing this all the time, us and Germany, Switzerland, those 3 countries in particular vying for the top place. And the last vote, they gave Germany 12 points, but we had 8. It meant that we'd won by 4 points. And it's the most thrilling thing that ever happened to me in my entire life, and still to this day. I mean, apart from having children and stuff like that, it's the most amazing day of my entire life. And thanks to Making Your Mind Up, I have this behind me. I have a wall of singles, gold, silver and platinum. I married my husband. I live in this house. I have my children. I have all of that because of Making Your Mind Up and Velcro.
Congratulations to Andy Hill and John Dante. Marvellous for them. Let's hope it's just the beginning. And that too for Bucks Fizz.
The skirts have gone. The skirts, I sold my skirt for charity years and years ago, and it made a lot of money. So therefore I made more and sold them all for charity, you know, and put them in a frame. And people pay thousands for them, even though it's not the actual one, you know. Jay Aston sold hers just a couple of years ago. Mike Nolan has still got his jumper that he wore, the beautiful blue velour jumper. He's got 2 of them. He will not part with them. And I said, Mike, what do you want them for? They don't fit anymore. Nobody wants them. They're not, you know, they're not fashionable anymore. But a collector or a charity could sell them and make a lot of money for it. He will not part with them. I am addicted to the Eurovision Song Contest, same as I was when I was a child. I absolutely adore it. And I actually think it's better now than it was when we did it. I think it's bigger. It's more for the fans. You get proper Eurovision fans go now. Whereas when we did it, if you look at the audience, the majority of the audience are just stuffed shirts. You know, they're the music industry people or the local mayor. And they're all sitting there probably thinking, oh, let's get this over and done with so we can have a glass of wine. And you know, they're all applauding politely. Now, you get the proper fans, you know, dressing in their, with their flags but cheering everybody on. I mean, it's an amazing atmosphere. I've been to 3 and the atmosphere is just electric and there's no animosity. It's just the happiest place. And actually, if I think about Bucks Fizz when we won and the skirts and everything, and it was quite shocking, I think, the skirts coming off, but it was a gimmick. And I actually think that songs in the Eurovision, possibly more so now than then, need a gimmick. Because there are so many songs in the competition now, you need your song to stand out. So you need a good song, of course, and a great performance. But you need to be the song that everyone goes, oh, did you see that? And then you clock it. If it's just a regular song, there are lots of them. There are lots of really good songs in that competition. But you need to be the one that stands out, and for that you need a gimmick, in my opinion.
For making your mind up. For making your mind up. For making your